So this is a topic I've never really discussed on my channel. Dating experiences. More specifically, my dating experiences. And I know there are probably hundreds of people watching this video right now that have had similar, if not worse, experiences than me. So before we begin, I should clarify that I believe there are two stages of dating. There's the first stage, which is stage one, which in essence is you are doing activities with this person, you are interested in this person, you like this person, and you're doing things with them to get to know them, to find out more about them, to say, hey, I think that we could be a couple. We have a lot of common interests, passions, ambitions, goals, and hobbies, and basically the first stage is getting to know this person. You date them and you do things together. Then after you get to know them, let's just say 6 months, maybe a year, you guys are really good friends and you know each other's hobbies and passions, you then pop the question, should we date? Can we date? Do you want to date? And that moves into stage two of the dating relationship, which is a more serious part of the relationship, which could entail, I don't know, holding hands, hugs, physical affection, sex, things like that. Those are the two stages. You got the early stage and the second stage. The second stage is a full-on relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend. I've dated a lot of people. First stage. I've only gotten in the second stage with one individual, and that relationship lasted 2 years. It should have lasted a lot shorter than that, but the past is the past. But I've went out with a lot of women. I have tried to get to know a lot of women, and most of the people that I've tried to get to know and date, we have hardly nothing in common. For example, my first dating experience was with a woman who was a country girl. Now, I didn't know that she was a country girl. I met her in class, and she was very, very nice, very, very sweet. But upon us going out to coffee, me asking her out to coffee and saying, hey, let's go talk, I want to get to know you more, I found out a lot of things that we didn't click. Obviously, she's a country girl. Obviously, I'm a city guy. And when we were talking, and she asked me, hey, what are your interests? And I told her, she told me all of her interests and things she likes to do, and I was like, that's cool. I'm not really into those sorts of things, but I'm trying to get to know you here. So when I told her my passions, my interests, my hobbies, I got a stare like, what? You dress up as comic book characters? Much less she wasn't even really familiar with what comics are, much less the Marvel Universe or the DC Universe. And I was like, no, she's so nice, but she's judging me like a harsh judge. She just gave me this look, and you know what I'm talking about, guys, when a girl gives you that look of like, oh shit, I said something wrong, or oh shit. She does not approve of that. And well, she didn't approve. I had to explain to her what cosplaying was, which was completely fine. There are people who don't know what cosplaying is, but for me, that's a big passion and something that I really hold dear to, and I'm not looking for someone to cosplay with me, but at least someone to understand my passion, my hobby, and not judge me for it, and look to me like I'm some sort of four-eyed freak, which is exactly what she did. She was also, when I told her that I play a lot of video games from my spare time, she heavily criticized me for that, and that's a no-no. Don't do that. If you criticize me, and I'm not someone who sits on my ass all day and plays video games. I'm very moderate. I play a lot of video games, and I do it for fun and entertainment, and I don't spend 14 hours straight playing World of Warcraft. That's not me. I put time into games, but I even it out very well with my other hobbies that I do. So she criticized me on video games. I didn't like that. She said that they're a waste of time. She doesn't understand why guys play them. They're a waste of money, which I can kind of understand they're a waste of money, but that's besides the point. The point is, gaming's a big thing to me, and I can't have someone who's putting me down or judging me for my interests and hobbies. If you do that, it's just not going to work. If you can accept them and you can say, hey, that's cool, or whatever, I don't mind you doing that, that's awesome. But in most cases, the people who I've been dating or I've went out with, trying to get to know, have really always been distant towards video games or cosplaying. I don't know why that is. So the second person that I went out with, this was an interesting one because For one, I think it's really important for people getting to know each other to talk about their past relationships. And when I say talk about them, I mean talk about their mistakes, their regrets, where they went wrong in the relationship, where the other person went wrong in the relationship. I really have no problem talking with a girl about her ex-boyfriend. I don't see a problem with it. The problem, though, is when you're out with this girl and for an hour and a half, quote, an hour and a half, she's talking about her ex-boyfriend for the entire duration, and I'm just kind of sitting there kind of like, okay. What time is it now? Yeah, it's been an hour now, and you're still talking about your ex-boyfriend. That's a no-no. That is terrible. Like, I'm sorry, but if you focus the entire time on your ex-boyfriend, that means you're still hung up on him. That means you still have some sort of attachment or feelings for him, and that is, I'm not interested in somebody who is still hung over heels over your past relationship partner, and here you are talking to me, trying to get to know you because I think you're attractive and I like you and I think maybe we'll get along, but no. No, again, I want to stress that point again. I have no problem talking about ex-boyfriends or girlfriends with a person that I'm dating. I have no problem with that. It's important that I think people discuss these things because I, for one, I'm always interested in hearing what people's past relationship experiences are, and I see no problem talking about them. But when it's an hour and a half or an hour past that and the person just talks about their boyfriend or girlfriend the whole time, that's a problem, and it should be a key factor. If you're dating someone and they do this for that amount of time, you should be wary of that they're not ready to be in a relationship. So another woman that I dated, and this was actually relatively about 8 months ago, I got to know her for about 3 months, and we went out to coffee numerous times. We talked a lot, but that didn't work, and it was a bad dating stage simply because we shared everything opposite. And what I mean is, she was religious. I try to be very open-minded when dating someone or trying to get to know someone. Even if they don't have the same interests as me and same passions, I like to socially interact with people and I like to get to meet new people. And so I said, what the hell? I know she's religious. I don't know what her religious beliefs are, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I asked her out to coffee. We went out to coffee. And the first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to find out what exactly she believed. I wanted to find out her values and her standards. And I should have guessed this, but what can I say? I was hoping that she wouldn't be a devout religious person, but it happened to be that she was. And, well, I found out when I asked her, what are your values, what are your standards, she went on to tell me that she believes that she will not have sex until marriage. Now, I used to believe that position. I remember when I was religious, and I used to believe in Jesus Christ and God and heaven and hell, that I held that view at one point too, but I can't do that. I cannot do that. I'm sorry. There's no possible physical, emotional way that I can date someone for, 3 to 4 years and then marry them and not have any physical connection, emotional connection, or sexual connection with them. I believe, personally, and this is a need, that sex is very important in a relationship. And if you are dating someone, stage 2, assuming that you're in it, your boyfriend and girlfriend, sex is important. I think sex is important for both partners. Because I know for myself, I'm not a needy person, I'm not a clingy person, but I need physical interaction with my said partner. I need to be, whether it's holding hands or cuddling close to a movie or kissing or having sex, BDSM, or other sorts of things, I need to have physical interaction with my partner. And if her standards were very, very high, to the point of where I found out that, she won't have sex until marriage, she doesn't, this is the one I couldn't get over. No kissing until the marriage day. No, I'm sorry. No, there's just fucking no. It's not happening. She was a nice girl, don't get me wrong, but I just can't date someone. I can't date a girl, even for relatively the first stage, as I'm trying to get to know her, when everything she believes is in opposition of mine. I'm not saying that I would never date a religious person, because obviously I went out and I tried dating someone who was religious. But if they are religious, they need to be a very, very wishy-washy religious person, meaning that maybe they believe in God, they go to church every so often, but they don't take their faith or their religion seriously to the point of where no sex, no kissing, no this, no that, no masturbation until marriage, no blah, blah, blah. You know, no. And some people may call me intolerant, but it's a genuine concern that I have. I can't date someone who has opposition of everything. Like, I can't even begin to explain to you how hard it would be for me to date a girl who believes that people who are bisexual or who are gay is wrong. I can't date someone like that. There's no way you can convince me, or I'm not going to be willing to even consider dating a woman who believes that type of bigotry or intolerance. I can't do it. You may call me intolerant for saying that, but that's me. So another type of woman that I dated, and this goes, I think, for a lot of people may be able to relate to this, women who don't know what they want in a relationship. And I've had this personal experience. I met this girl, fantastic. We hit it off. We had so much in common. Got to know her for about 5 months. We did activities together. And then all of a sudden, she goes back to her abusive ex-boyfriend. Which, when I was getting to know her, dating her in the first stage, she told me all about him, and I was like, why would you date someone who puts you down like that? Why would you date someone who criticizes you and puts you down for your weight, your looks? I mean, he sounds like a fucking asshole, is what I told her. And to this day, I still don't understand. I don't understand why women do this. It's like they don't know what they want, and then when I expressed interest in her, she jumped back to her ex-boyfriend. And by all means, this has happened actually twice with 2 different women, and I still to this day don't really understand it, and it's very sad to me to see people go back to a relationship which they previously were not happy in, but they do it, and my guess is they don't know what they really want, and when someone comes along and wants to treat them with value and respect and show them what a real relationship entails and how much fun a real relationship can be, they go back and they settle for something that they don't deserve. I don't understand it. I don't know if I'll ever understand that. And it's sad to me to see people who you temporarily get to know and you hit it off with, and they go back to their abusive boyfriends, ex-boyfriends. So those have been the majority of my experiences. A lot of the experiences that I have told you have happened numerous times with numerous different people. I've dated a lot of people, but I've only went into one serious committed relationship, which I regret fully because it didn't last. It was a bad relationship. But overall, these aren't terrible, terrible, terrible dating experiences. These are just some that I've had, but I'm interested. I'm interested in hearing your bad dating experiences, if you've had any. I believe as of tomorrow, video responses will no longer be available on YouTube. If that is so, if you make a video response, post the link in the comments and post and put in caps like video response, and then post the link, put in caps video response, and I will try to go through the amount of comments that I usually get on my videos and try to find it and watch it. So annoying. Thank you, YouTube, for taking away video responses, something that I used quite regularly. In any event, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below telling me your bad dating experiences. If you've had any, those are some of mine. I'd love to hear your story.